Yeah, so I was looking for a PlayStation 4 Pro because I thought, well, I need to buy at least one console from this generation. And I think the PlayStation exclusives are better than the Xbox exclusives today. Things have changed. And, well, to be quite honest, how can I put this to you? Just becomes a never-ending, twisting, turning maze of questions, and then I don't know if I should buy a PlayStation 4 at all, any kind. So here's the thing, I thought, well, PlayStation 4 Pro has been out for a while now and it hasn't had a CPU upgrade. I think that's something to do with the CPU manufacturer. I don't know, it's Jaguar CPU in there. I'm not even sure if that's AMD or Intel. And in fact the Chinese are making something more powerful than the PlayStation 4 Pro, you know, for their own domestic market. It's going to come with a custom OS eventually, but for now it's going to just come with some sort of Windows. I honestly don't know. I mean, if it's a closed hardware platform with fixed specifications, then you could basically, I do think the PlayStation 4 is an AMD system, it's not Intel. And this Chinese thing is AMD as well, and it's actually a more sophisticated APU, which is a CPU and a GPU stuck together on a single chip, which is what my PC is basically. Cost me bugger all, and it's really quite impressive. There's nothing I can't run on it, and I was actually quite surprised by the modern games, the way they run on it. So, but yeah, anyway, so there's the whole issue of PlayStation 5 is out next year. PlayStation 4, that's actually £250, but I couldn't find a game that I wanted with a PlayStation 4 Pro bundle called Days Gone, which looked kind of like The Walking Dead. I'll get into that in a bit. So I'd have to end up buying a PlayStation 4 in white, which is what I want for aesthetic reasons, that's all, if it's going to be the same price, for 250, and then buying a nice condition copy of the game second hand for about 35 quid. That's £285. And there is a difference between the Pro and the regular PlayStation 4, so that means I'd have to buy a PlayStation 4 Pro in black with that game, because I'm not going to pay another £35 on the £350 PS4 Pro. Now the problem here is, if a PlayStation 5 is coming out next year, it's going to be the same shit. Basically a Unix operating system and an AMD Windows compatible system, although it's not running Windows. Yeah, basically PC parts, PC memory sticks, they're just not running a PC operating system like Windows 10 or 8 or even XP or anything. So that's a bit strange, but I then had to check out the game. And I thought, well, this is turning into a real, shit fest of, well, I don't want a black PS4 Pro, no one has the white PS4 Pro bundle worth of shit. I'm not paying the extra 35 quid effectively for having a white one. Out of principle, I can afford it, that's no problem. And I don't want a PS4, a regular PS4, because I'm hoping one day someone might actually release a PlayStation VR game worth of shit that I must have. And I think that would be pushing the machine. You'd want a pro to be doing that because it's generating twice the visuals. I mean, it's going to be a toy, a very expensive toy. PSVR kit is like 250 to 300 quid, I think. So it's all getting very expensive. It'll look quite nice on my plasma, I'm sure. But I looked up this game, Days Gone, and it was like, my god, it's like Final Fantasy Spirits Within in real-time game engine. Whoopie-doo still looks the same shit. And we've hardly progressed from virtual tennis on the Dreamcast. When you have the cutscenes of the players close up, they're higher resolution, the textures are higher resolution, but the people that are supposed to be alive in the game that you're controlling look like fucking zombies. Zombies with a fucking coating of plastic, I might add. And I thought, is this all the PS4 Pro, Xbox One X can manage? Just slightly better versions of the Virtua Tennis zombies character models. It's just don't do anything for me, I have to say. And then it's like, well, it's going to be at least a year and a bit before PS5 comes out. No one actually knows how much it's going to cost. And should I just investigate getting games like that on a PC and maybe building a gaming PC? I honestly don't know. So, excuse me, referee duties again. I think that's a bit zoomed in too much there. Yeah, so it's like I don't really like PC gaming. I don't want a PC in my living room. Under plasma. Ooh. So the bundles are not great as usual. When you do find one, it's not in the colour you want. And then it's like the price hasn't really gone down enough since they came out. And I'm like, well, but then again, what can you build for 350 quid plus 35 quid for a used copy of Days Gone? And then it's like, I don't think I'm going to like Days Gone. I'm going to be playing it and I'm going to be thinking, yeah, this just proves my point. Xbox 360 and PS3 was as far as we needed to go. How about improving the fucking games? Because all those games like Days Gone are basically some idiot who couldn't make a film is just taking his frustration out on the fucking game development world. Just get over yourself, mate. You're not a fucking director. You're not Ridley Scott. Go and make a fucking game instead of some shit CGI film with some gameplay elements. I mean, it's like fucking Sinbad or King of Chicago on the Amiga. Yeah, that was the same shit. It was like, yeah, all woolly, fluffy, blue sky thinking bullshit ideas. When it come down to the programming, it was like, yeah, the graphics look a bit shit and the gameplay shit. But yeah, I'm happy for you, mate. You did an interactive movie on the computer, and that's basically what they're doing. They're falling into the same trap as those kind of weirdos. So I'm like, do I really want to have a console from this generation? am I even going to want a console from the next generation? What games are on there that are good enough for me to like? And I think VR is the only one really. GTA 6 built for VR, running on PS5 hardware. That might be my point back into games, and I can see a point of like, you know, so what, this is slightly better than 1080p on the PS4 versus 720p on the PS3. It's not, it don't look any better really. You know, it's not like you're gonna say, well, that really looks like a real person. But here on the PS3, they look like plastic models that are animating for Pixar or some fucking Disney film or some shit like that. Like Tintin. In fact, Tintin the movie, which is a CGI movie, I think 2011, you should definitely check that out. It's got Daniel Craig as the voice of the baddie, so you know, easy enough for you to look it up, you lazy gits. And it's not even up to that standard. And I'm like, and all this is dressed up in a very boring, very seen it a billion times. I think we've gone too far. I think graphics have just gone too far. Have become too important. Emphasis on emulating the planet we live on here has gone too far as well. There's nothing magical or fantastical. So, you know, you're like, well, what was the point? The gameplay needs to catch up. The cost of making these games needs to come down. We need to make worlds that are procedurally generated, which means it's a lot cheaper than people designing textures to fill out a fake world that looks 99.99 fucking the same as some parts of America, as in that game. And the acting hasn't improved much. The voice acting for like the CG cutscenes in Days Gone is not any better than the voice acting in Resident Evil 2 or 1 or whatever the first game was that had it. It's a little bit better than that Amiga game, I can't remember what it's called. They're like undercover policemen. But yeah, it's like, so I don't know if I want this generation now. A driving game is a driving game, don't really matter to me if I can count the fucking different types of textures for the snowflakes. You know, that you haven't improved the game, you haven't used the technology. I think VR in an open world GTA 6 kind of thing, like I played San Andreas on the PS2, that with VR, that works for me. You know, I can't simulate walking in the thing, but at least I can look around. And when I turn my head, I'll see what the character would see behind him. So that must be more immersive. And I'm thinking, do I just get a PS4 now, just to see what VR is like? So now I probably have to look up, see if there's any half decent websites that talk about what one you should get if you want to do the VR stuff. I don't know, I honestly don't know really, what can you say? It's just, and I'm not interested in Nintendo. Nintendo really fucked themselves. They've put a fucking iPad 5 CPU in the console, whatever. It's one of them kind of ARM RISC CPUs. And because that's not powerful enough to even make it to PlayStation 3, properly programmed PlayStation 3 levels of sophistication, so a whole generation behind, and they thought, okay, we just make a docking station and we'll put an extra processor in there. Do you know how horrendous that is for people to write games on? That is like the worst fucking system. It's like giving someone a Sega Saturn and a copy of the fucking machine code instruction set for the Hitachi SH04 processors, or is it 02? But you get my drift, they're RISC processors as well. So you're not going to get any decent third-party games on the Switch because they're going to cost as much to develop the Switch version as a PS4 and the Xbox One version combined. And most Nintendo owners really, you know, they're like, well, what else can I buy apart from Mario and Zelda games? It's not like they're going to buy the system to play your games exclusively. Oh, I love EA games, oh, I love them. Maybe they do, but I don't think you're going to get better than the PS4 and Xbox controllers for playing those kind of games either. The EA even make racing games. Is there a Need for Speed on the PS4? I completely skipped this whole generation. I really couldn't see the difference. And people were like, just wait, it will get better. Well, it hasn't got better. You've just upped the resolution and used slightly better textures, and it's the same shit, and it costs a hell of a lot more. PS3 games cost fuck all. You can buy PS3 games, good ones, in excellent condition, used, for less than it costs to buy BMX racers, which actually, if you turn that back to 1983 prices, 1984, you're probably talking, you know, you can buy the best PS3 games in mint condition, you know, apart from any that have got a weird fanatic following and go for stupid money. I don't know if they exist. Probably not on a PS3 yet. So you'd be like, well, hang on, £2 in 1984, that was 2 days worth of dinner money. Today, 2 days worth of dinner money is 20 fucking quid. It certainly works out that way if you work it out in rent, cigarette, alcohol and petrol prices, which is what most people spend their money on. So yeah, I honestly don't know. Do I completely skip this generation? I'm not interested in anything Nintendo's doing. You know, there's no point getting an Xbox and a PS4, and if I did only buy one, well, the PS4 is just a PC in disguise running Unix. So the hardware is only going to go as fast as, you know, AMD have been improving the performance for the same cost, you know, 3-4 years later. I don't believe there's been some sort of moon landing level of breakthrough there, so, you know, just assume it's going to be faster. It's not going to be revolutionary like, you know, GTA on PS3 versus GTA on PS2. No sir, that doesn't happen. And it won't happen as long as we keep getting stupid idiots making fucking consoles from cut down PC parts and then trying to be clever. Whatever happened to custom technology? The Xbox 360 was one hell of a cheap motherboard. We should have had Amiga OS written for the Xbox motherboard, and someone have a little word with Microsoft. Maybe they can sell it to us, and if not, just go straight to IBM, who built the Xbox for Microsoft, and you say to them, look, we want something like this, but just needs to run a regular power PC operating system, which is what the GameCube used as well, I believe. So there's a lot of consoles that used it, and now it's just gone. And it's like, is there no other CPU anymore? Have fucking Windows trampled all over everything finally, and now the only two CPUs you can get is Intel and a very compatible version of what they're doing by AMD. And they all use the same graphics cards and pretty much the same chips on the motherboard. And memory chips. Everything is the same, and it's the same shit. So I'm going to play on my Mega Drive for a bit now. And that's all I've got to say on the whole console business at the moment. I don't think the console world is ready for me to come back to. I don't think we've advanced far enough. I've gone from electromechanical toys like Demon Driver all the way up to really sophisticated racing games on the Xbox 360 and PS3. And I know from my experience nothing is changing fast enough. I suspect people buy any old shit now, as long as it's new. They're fucking sheep out there. Most people haven't got any understanding what they're buying. It's shiny, it's new, it costs a bit more, it looks a little bit better. It's got to be the next best thing. Let's go with that. I refuse. I rebel. I'm waiting for the next generation.